Hello. In this presentation, we will discuss how to utilize your Handshake account to its fullest potential to find the job and internship opportunities that you most desire. Handshake is a national career platform that John Carroll uses to help you do a number of things. One of those is to get discovered by employers. Employers are on Handshake and they're looking for current students and recent graduates only. They're actively seeking students to recruit for their open positions. So with a completed Handshake profile and an updated resume, you are more likely to be messaged by an employer within the Handshake profile. Handshake is also a great way to get hired. Handshake has more opportunities for students and recent grads than anywhere else online. There are opportunities for every path, and this includes students of all majors within every industry. It's a great way to get connected, find the best places to work according to your classmates. Handshake allows students and alumni to submit reviews of their recent work experiences, and you can connect and message your peers to learn more about their experiences from all institutions, including your own, of course. And you can get it all in one place. Handshake allows you to find jobs, connect to your peers and employers, and connect to the Career Center. We'll talk more about how to navigate through Handshake throughout this presentation. So when you complete your profile on Handshake, you're much more likely to show up in recruiter searches. Handshake recently reported that 1 million messages were sent to students within a single week. You're also 5 times more likely to be messaged by a recruiter if you have a completed profile. And we'll talk a little bit later about how to complete your profile, what to fill out, what all that could look like. However, if you're not ready yet, one of the things that you can do is to start filling out certain things that you might be interested in on your Handshake profile. So again, if you're not quite ready to share your experiences, this is a great place to start. On your profile in the Your Interests section, you can complete the following. First is job type. This is where you can indicate what type of job opportunity that you're looking for. Next is the location. It's pretty simple. This is where you select where you'd like to work. Certainly many of our students choose Cleveland, Ohio, but I know we often have students from Buffalo, from Pittsburgh, Chicago, all over. So you can put in there where you're interested in working. Third is the job role. This is where you choose jobs you would like to consider. It could be marketing, sales associate, things like that. And by filling out these fields on Handshake, you're about 2.5 times more likely to see and apply for relevant work opportunities. You can also work with a career advisor like myself who would be able to help you develop your profile. And Handshake is really similar to platforms like you might be familiar with, like Netflix, Spotify. Handshake uses data intelligence to recommend jobs and internships based on your activity, information, and other things within your profile and your preferences. The more information you add to your profile, the easier it will be for employers to find you and make good decisions about whether or not you might be a good fit for their job. It's never going to hide a job or an internship or anything like that from you, but it will kind of push some to the top that it feels you might be interested in based on the information that you put into it. You know, again, similarly how to, Netflix will give you some recommended films, Spotify might make playlists for you. Handshake kind of does a similar thing with jobs and internships. And completing your profile really is key. As you develop your profile, pay attention to the progress bar and try to reach 100% completion. Remember, a complete updated profile makes you 5 times more likely to be messaged by a recruiter. You want to complete the following sections in your profile. First, we'll talk about the professional photo. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you had a professional photographer take your picture. What it means is that it's a picture of you wearing what you would wear to a job interview with a kind of non-distracting or blank background. So, if you don't have access to a professional photographer or something like that, it's very, very simple to just throw on what you would wear to a job interview, find sort of a blank, again, non-distracting background, and have someone take your picture. That works just fine for Handshake and for LinkedIn, just that professional profile picture. You want to upload and complete your resume into Handshake. As you're looking for jobs, things like that. Pretty much all of them will require you to, submit a resume. and you want to make sure that you have that. And we'll show you in a little bit when we kind of dive into a live look at Handshake, how to upload that resume, things like that. And if you're not sure about your resume, you'd like to get some feedback, maybe get some help, there's tons of resources on Handshake that we'll also look at that can show you that as well. You want to make sure that your education section is filled out. You want to make sure it's got all the information on there about your major, your minor, when you're going to graduate, things like that. And you want to have any work experience on there as well. And this can certainly include jobs like Chipotle, Starbucks. You know, they may not seem exactly connected to the job internship that you're looking for, but employers like to see that you've worked and that you've gained professional experience. So we really recommend putting anything like that on there. You want to add in any student organizations or extracurricular activities as well. And then finally, skills, documents, courses, and projects as well. You want to try to fill that out as much as possible. The next step along there is to make it public. Once your profile is complete, make your profile visible to employers, students, and alumni. Check out the employer view and edit the content you want employers to see. This will help you attract employers relevant to your career and job interests. You can chat with current students and alums who share similar career interests to help guide you in your job search. You can see what employers viewed. You can also see what employers viewed your page, which we'll show you a little bit later in this presentation. So you can actually see if a company, organization, an employer has actually viewed your profile. And you may want to follow up if there's a company that viewed your page that you have interest with. You can edit your privacy settings to receive messages from employers. So be sure to check your privacy settings and select the community option so that your profile is visible to employers. Another great feature of Handshake is that you get easy access to us at Career Services. There's a lot of different things that you can do. One of them is that you can request appointments for a meeting one-on-one with a peer advisor. And peer advisors are students that have been trained to assist in resume and cover letter writing, as well as developing an effective LinkedIn profile. You can also request to meet with a career advisor like myself that can assist you with everything I just previously mentioned, as well as many more things like internship searches, graduate school help, job searches, all that stuff. We can also help with career exploration if you're thinking about changing your major, not really sure what to do. We're also happy to help with that. You can sign up for events or career fairs right from your phone. Handshake is mobile friendly, which makes it easy to access on the go. You can search for jobs and internships right through the platform. Searches can be filtered based on a variety of parameters from industry and location to major requirements and job functions. And again, we'll be showing you kind of what that looks like when we do our little live demo of Handshake. And finally, you can sign up for interviews. Recruiters are often conducting interviews with John Carroll students for both jobs and internships. You can schedule times for these interviews directly through Handshake. Handshake's also a great way to discover career events on campus. As we're making transitions online, we still plan to host recruiting events and career fairs throughout the year. So make sure you're checking out the events listed on Handshake so you can register. Employer events posted on Handshake and events coordinated by Career Services. Well, I believe it's that time that we actually take a live look at Handshake. Before we dive into it, just kind of let you know what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at the career interest piece on a profile, how to complete those different profile sections, employer views and how to connect to employers, how to upload documents, including that resume, which is so important, the resources tab, how to search for jobs and use the filters, and then finally, how to connect to your peers. So now we're having a look at Gina here, who graciously agreed to let us use her as an example for today. And so the first thing we're going to look at this live look on Handshake is the career interest section. It's your interest here. So if you're on the job hunt or you have job interests, you can click on these links here to kind of add those in. You can add in a city or cities that you might be interested in working in. And then here you can see Gina has filled out some roles that she might want to pursue, including clinical psychologist, school psychologist, psychotherapist, social worker, all of those types of things. You can also see here the industries that Gina shared: higher education, K-12, nonprofit. Really, really good to fill these out because employers do look at this and it can help them connect with you. Certainly, as we mentioned beforehand, it's great to fill out all the sections on your profile. You can see here Gina has 100% complete, which is awesome. This includes your education section, any work or volunteer experience, the skills section, all those types of things, organizations you might be a part of. All these things are great to fill out to try to get your profile to 100%. It's really going to give you that best shot of connecting with an employer and, you know, kind of moving forward, taking next steps. A good way to connect with employers, you know, other than the job search, things like that, you can actually see which employers have viewed your profile down here in the who's viewed my profile. And this right here says it's only visible to me, meaning that, you know, if another employer was on here or another student, they wouldn't be able to see this. So you can see here, these two places have viewed Gina's profile. And let's say Gina was really interested potentially in working with City Year. You can actually click on it right here. It'll open a new tab and take you to the City Year Handshake page, which is really, really interesting. It gives you lots of information about City Year, different students' perspectives, you know, from the employee side, from all kinds of different schools you can see here. General contact info for that organization, jobs, and then finally a public staff list of folks that you can connect with from that organization if you wanted to kind of take it a step further and continue the conversation a little bit. Again, this is a great way to learn more about companies and the opportunities that they have available. And, you know, if they viewed your profile, they showed a little bit of interest. Okay. Next, we're going to look at the documents and how to upload those. So in order to upload those, you want to click on your face, your profile picture here in the right-hand corner, and scroll down here to Documents. Click on that. This is where you can upload resumes, cover letters, transcripts, everything like that. You can see here, Gina uploaded her resume June 24th of 2020. Certainly, when you're applying for jobs and internships, you want to make sure that you have a new cover letter for each one. And if you have the time and the energy, it's also recommended that you make a targeted resume for internships and jobs that you're pursuing. So you can have multiple documents in here. Just make sure when you're applying, if you're applying through Handshake, that you're using the correct resume and the correct cover letter for sure. But this is where all that can kind of live. And you just click on this Add New Document tab right here, and that will allow you to upload those documents into the Handshake system. Next, we're going to look at the Resources tab, which is just chock full of great stuff to help you with your professional and career development. To get to the Resources tab, you click over here on Career Center up in the top right-hand corner. That should take you to the Career Center landing page. And then right here in the middle is the Resources tab. And just really quick, if you want to schedule an appointment with Career Services, again, you click on this Career Center tab, which is where we're at. And then just click this Appointments tab right here. That'll take you to a way you can view advisors' schedules and grab an appointment with them. So clicking on Resources here, this will bring you to our resource library. And there's a lot of things in here, as you can see. So if you know you're really interested in, say, like help with a cover letter, you can search. And it'll bring up our cover letter writing guide and video. And there's tons of things in here, including resume help, interviewing help. We have lots of videos on here that can kind of walk you through some of those things. But within these, there's also other resources as well. We have our resume writing guide and sample resumes. So there's often additional documents attached to these things as we're going through it. Getting back to the resource library really quick, I wanted to share that we also have things like Big Interview, which can help you practice your interviewing skills. We have Vault, What Can I Do with These Major, Going Global for folks that might be interested in opportunities outside of the United States. These are all great resources that you can play around with. Okay, next we're going to look at the job search and the filters. You want to click on this Jobs tab right here, just to the right of the search bar on Handshake, and it'll bring up all of these different things here. And previously in the presentation, I spoke about how Handshake will kind of start to, you know, cultivate certain things for you. And you can see here that, you know, given Gina's major of psychology, it might be kind of strange to see technology producer intern. But if you look at this is actually for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI. And so given her psychology major, it makes a lot of sense, right? We scroll down over here to the left, personal caregiver, home health aide, things like that. These are all sort of tailored to what Gina is looking for. You can see here there's 4.2 thousand jobs it pulled up. So you probably want to filter that a little bit, right? And they have some quick filters here that you can do, like say you only wanted to look for internships, you can do that. That brings it down to 551, right? If you wanted to say a location, you know, let's say Chicago, Illinois, it's going to bring it down a little bit too. You can actually even set the distance to, you know, not so far away, up to 100 miles. So that's another filter that you can play with up here, you know, kind of quickly. But if you want to get really specific with the filters, you can click on this all filters button right here, kind of to the right side, and it'll bring this up. And so it'll let you choose what type of job type you're looking for, whether that's full-time, part-time, an internship, on-campus jobs, a job, and there's even more. If you know you want to do paid roles only, you can check that box. That'll filter it a little bit. You can look at this, employer preferences. Some employers have GPA preferences, maybe even school year preferences. You know, for example, a company might only want to look at juniors for an internship. So you can click that. Work authorization for international students, this can be really helpful, and it'll show only organizations that are willing to accept OPT and CPT and will sponsor. You can look at things like industry, job function, and major as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can filter through here to kind of, you know, really hone in on your search. But I recommend playing around with these, kind of seeing, you know, what maybe, you know, makes things a little too narrow. You've only got like 2 options if you put everything in, and kind of playing with these a little bit to kind of help you find what you're looking for. But it can be really helpful. It can kind of narrow things down, you know, from the 3.9 thousand or however many jobs that may be on here. It's a great way to search for jobs, search for internships, and connect with them all here. And some jobs will actually allow you to apply right through Handshake. Other ones will kind of take you to an external site and have you apply through there. So there's lots of different ways, but you know, this will help connect you to those opportunities for sure. The last piece I'll talk about in this Handshake demo is the student page. So how you can connect with other students. And this is really cool. So when it comes up, it's going to show you students who are kind of going along a similar path as you. So as I mentioned previously, Gina's major is psychology. So a lot of these students that are popping up here are psychology students. You can see that over here. And places that they've worked, things that they've done. And this can be really helpful for you to see, you know, based on kind of where you're at, what your major is, things like that, what other students, you know, from universities, you know, all over the place are doing, types of internships that they've had. And obviously it's a really great way to network. And networking is super important regardless of the field that you're going into. So this is a great way to connect with folks. But say you only want to connect with John Carroll students, you don't really want to look at folks at other places. Over here on the schools side, you can check this box and it'll only show you John Carroll University students, if that's what you're looking for. You can also connect with, you know, alumni only. That's kind of more what you're looking for. You can add in school years, you can look at majors, even employers. It's a really interesting way to connect with other students. And of course, student organizations as well. Again, great way to connect with students. And for yourself, the way that you can kind of control this and, you know, you being able to be searched on here, go back to click on, you know, your profile picture and then settings and privacy. And then this is the tab where you can kind of change that, whether it's, you know, community, that means students, employers, you know, and alumni across Handshake can contact you. You can say that you just want employers to contact you, or you can make it private as well. So that's sort of how you control that. So that is that's kind of it for the live Handshake demo. I will dive back into the PowerPoint now. So last little bit here. So Handshake is a great way to connect you with opportunities, connect you with other students, alumni, and really kind of help you take those next steps with your career journey. And the first step is to log in today. You go to jcu.joinhandshake.com. You use your John Carroll email as a username, and you set your own password. And if you're watching along with this right now, you can take your cell phone, open the camera, and this QR code should take you right to that if you don't want to type that in. And again, one of the best things that you can do first is to complete that profile. Upload your resume, add in any work experience, relevant organizations you're a part of, and extracurricular activities. You can also add courses and projects that you've worked on. If you need any help along the way with anything whatsoever career related, you can set up an appointment with us at Career Services. You can schedule time to meet with us along a lot of different career related issues. And then start searching for jobs, based on your search filters such as location, major, and interest. Finally, our last page here, we are located at 2563 South Belvoir Boulevard. We're in the little house next to the tennis courts. But with everything going on now, we are virtual. So we're meeting with students virtually or over the phone for any type of assistance. If you'd like to set up an appointment with us, you can certainly do so through Handshake as we demonstrated today. But you can also set up an appointment with us by emailing careerservices@jcu.edu or calling 216-397-4237. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. Hopefully this was helpful, for you to really utilize all the best aspects of Handshake. There are certainly other things. I could have spent many hours showing you all the little things, but this is a great way to get started and kind of show you the basics of Handshake. Again, please reach out if we can be helpful in any way, and have a wonderful day.